With the bitch with the blank, say thanks a lot. Give me everything you got. Cash for the bitch from my rock ingenuity. I'm a servicious. Just don't think of it as not because it's only lust from the rock. I will spot you, something I will drop you. Girl, I got you cause my words rock you.
Yes, but you are the hip hop gangster.
When I start a rhyme, brothers come and fear. Their girl believe them and come close to here.
Son.
Just ice for the know that I'm fresh. They hear my voice on vinyl, then they touch me in the flesh.
All I do is wink, make the girl think of putting her man right on the break.
Submit her feelings
Too much like his whim, take it to my dressing room and get busy again.
I understand why brothers don't like my presence when it comes to a girl.
Oh, shit,
the
son.
present is the truth and
Right,
facts.
son.
That's packed like it broke on cracks.
Uh-oh.
Nah, you ain't jacked. That's all I got. Something left. It's my musical life and his name is GMX. I'm gonna
Ask you a question, I want a straight answer, cause I'm serious as cancer.
A lot of MCs who are jokers and pranksters.
Yes, but you are the hip hop gangster.
Just switch around by answering it right to the top. A certain is just ice the gangster of hip hop. I use a rhyme for a gun, intellect for a bullet in my hands. Crafty ways to execute it to the fullest.
Oh shit, son, it's raining on a brother, son. What's up, y'all? Big Mike, Almighty, Triple XL, coming at you live and direct. Max City Limits Radio Show, MaxCity.com. Yeah, buddy. Once again, for those that don't know, what's today's date? The 14th or the 15th? Well, yeah, man, it's been about 3 or 4 days since we laid moms to rest. Wishing moms a peaceful journey. Yeah, man. I will be so glad when somehow, some way, this COVID-19 shit is over, man, because you germaphobe fucks, man, are getting on my goddamn nerves, man. I actually had some cocksucking bitch at the funeral while I'm laying my moms to rest. Some bitch approached me and asked me, how come I'm not wearing my mask? Oh, nigga, I about fainted. I about fell the fuck out, nigga. I wanted to backslap this bitch so bad. Where's your mask? I'm like, this, I ain't know who is this bitch? You know what I mean? And for you stupid son bitches out there that's like, because this is what she did. The broad that was quizzing me about my mask, she was, of course, wearing her mask. And she thought that I knew who the fuck she was. But I didn't know who the fuck this bitch was. Turns out that my uncle's broad, who is my aunt? I'm not gonna call her broad. She cool people. But I guess, I don't know if this was her sister. I think it was her sister. And evidently I worked with her at one point or period in time when I was working at the prison. And I don't remember her. You know what I mean? But she thought I should remember her. But I'm thinking to myself, bitch, you wearing that stupid ass mask. I can't see who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? She thought I should like recognize who she is with that shit on her face. And she took the shit off and I still didn't know who the fuck she was. But anyway, god damn, man. People are on my dick about this shit, man. There's a new study out of New York, you cocksuckers, state that people who are overusing PPE or who are obeying the quarantine are the ones that's getting sick, you shitheads. Read a book. Get off my dick, man. God damn. Okay, switch gears here. Oh yeah, shout out to the social engineers. Shout out to the oligarchs, the elite 1%, who control everything, the corporations and the media. Congratulations. They have effectively switched national attention away from COVID-19 bullshit, cooking the books and padding the numbers. They have effectively switched gears, and now the talk of the town is now the Ahmaud Arbery case. Yes, round of applause for these fuck niggas. They have successfully switched national attention to something else because it was getting a little too hot in the kitchen. People was basically seeing how the jig was up, So they had to go ahead and, yeah, man, they had to switch gears on a nigga, man. So, once again, the best way to distract the American public is things of a racial nature, and not just a racial nature, but, of course, cops killing black folks, man. Oh, yes, the old tried and true, very, very effective way of making niggas emotional and crying and whining and sobbing, holding hands, holding up signs. I mean, it's the American way. Yeah. So niggas done forgot all about the COVID-19 fuckery. Yeah, they done forgot about that. Now it's, Ahmad. I run for Ahmad. Cass is asking me ad nauseum, nigga, what do you think? And of course, I've already spit what I'm going to spit inside my Patreon. But the case has opened up a little bit. Some more things have come out. And cats are still asking me, so what do you think now? Well, what do you think now? Well, what do you think now? And what I'm going to say, it may surprise you. And once again, before I start, for you single... for you niggas, I was raised by single broads, single mothers, single bitches. Just go ahead, switch gears, switch channels. You are not going to like what I'm going to have to say. You're not going to like it. I know. So just go ahead, do yourself a favor, man. Pull your panties up, pull your skirt down, take the tampon from between your ass cheeks, and just bounce, okay? We're going to practice some manhood over here. We're going to look at shit from a manhood perspective. Now, that's what I'm going to do. Now, what the fuck y'all do? Hey, look, y'all do what y'all do, man. But I'm not here to candy coat shit for you niggas. What's that mean? My name's not Willy Wonka. I ain't here to candy coat shit. Well, that's what's about to happen, man. So motherfuckers are saying, do you think that Ahmad deserved to be killed? No. Duh. He didn't deserve to be killed. Niggas is asking me, do you think he's guilty of anything? No, there's nothing in the videos that show him doing anything of an illegal nature besides maybe, possibly trespassing. Right? So then cats are saying, well, how can you defend the white folks? I'm not defending the white folks. I, as a corrections officer for 10 years, I know what use of force is. I know what you can and what you can't do during a use of force. I've written thousands of incident reports and use of force reports. Okay? And I don't really need to know the ins and the outs of the stand your ground law or citizen's arrest or whatever. I don't really need to know that. Okay? Even though I do know that, I've done my due diligence on it. But the main thing I'm going to focus on is when Ahmad went around that truck, and then you have the blind spot, and you can't see what the redneck is doing. You know the redneck's got the shotgun. Okay, we know this. And we know Ahmad makes a beeline right around that truck and meets Ahmad, or meets the redneck. You can't see what's happening, but when they emerge from the other side of the truck, you see them fighting for the shotgun. All right? So the media keeps telling you unarmed black man was shot, which is a lie. Because at this point, when they're struggling for the gun, he is armed. You have two individuals struggling for the weapon. So at this point, he is armed. Okay? Let's stop playing games here, man. You got use of force and then you got use of deadly force. At this particular time, both men can claim self-defense and both will be justified in using deadly force. Because whoever comes away with that shotgun, there's a good chance they're going to use it to smoke the other individual. Let's get this shit right, man. The news is killing me. An unarmed black man jogging. Kansas asked me, do I believe he was jogging? I mean, I don't know. Shit, that's some weird jogging attire. And I don't really, in all honesty, I don't know a lot of black folks that jog, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just where I live. But I don't know a lot of black folks that jog, and I don't know a lot of black folks or that jog in that sort of attire. But to me, it's irrelevant and it's immaterial, man. It really is. The only thing I'm really focusing in on is when they get to the point where they're wrestling for the shotgun. That's what I've been telling cats, man. If y'all want to see this shit go to court, y'all want to see it go to trial, I'm trying to tell you, they're going to get a slap on the wrist. Far as my experience with the whole use of force paperwork, yeah, the jury's going to look at that and be like, hey, you know, it's 50-50. Right then and there, at that particular point in time, a reasonable, rational jury would be like, it's a 50-50 situation. Homeboy ran and grabbed the gun. At that point, you know, it's anybody's guess who should claim self-defense and who has the right to use deadly force. Well, Big Mike, why don't you just automatically condemn them white boys, man? How they just gonna be running around with weapons and shit, son? And then niggas is mad because I'm not like all up in arms, man. I'm just totally desensitized to niggas dying. I just am. I am, man. Niggas is getting smoked on a daily where I live, man. You know what I mean? So unlike most of you niggas that get triggered when a white boy kill a brother, it doesn't register. It just really doesn't. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard this argument ad nauseum on YouTube already. A lot of my enlightened brethren understand that when you have whites killing blacks, it's just a drop in the bucket, man. You know what I mean? And I can see if it was a real cut and dry case of racism here, but it's not really a cut and dry case of racism here. Because what them white boys is guilty of, I've been guilty of it myself. Let me tell you a little story. Let me give you a little ditty, man, about what has happened to me in the past. Once upon a time, I got a report from one of my son's friends that there was some nigga at a park that was waving a pistol in my son's face. Right? I get a hold of this information. I am livid. I am incensed. I'm like, what? Oh, no, that's not going to happen. And I didn't even know where my son was at this particular time, man. You know what I mean? I immediately get in my ride. Well, excuse me. I immediately get my pistol. Get in my ride. Go track down my son. I'm like, who is this nigga? Where he at? What he look like? What the problem is? You know, son low-key shook up. I'm like, okay, I need you to go home. And, you know, I get on the phone and I call 911. 911 said it can't really help me. You know what I mean? Because I wanted them to meet me at my crib or whatever, but they was on some bullshit. They said if there was no crime committed, and I'm like, well, you know, someone's out here waving a pistol, waving a gun at my son, and I think I know where they might be. And they were just like, well, you know, whatever you do, don't follow them, okay? Like, well, y'all gonna send somebody out here or what? And it was like, just don't follow them. They're not even, you know, giving me any feedback. They say, just don't follow them. And we'll see if we can. Yeah, it was just some bullshit when I was on 911. You know what I mean? Case in point, they wasn't going to send nobody out there. So what I did was I went around the corner, did a couple rotations around the block, went up the street to the gas station. Lo and behold, I see the nigga with like two other dudes and like one female, right? So I got the report from my son. My son said that the nigga was mad because the chick that he was riding with was digging my son, Lil Mike. So he decides to like show he's the big dog, the big nigga, by like pulling a strap on my son and talking shit, you know, because his bitch checking out my son, right? So they're at the gas station. I see one of the niggas pumping the gas. And from what I heard, the nigga that was driving was the one with the strap. I pull up right next to these niggas, man. There was all sorts of shit going through my head. I was so enraged, you know what I mean, about what I had heard. But yet still, I had to keep my cool because I still haven't seen a firearm. And if I do see a firearm, what am I going to do? Now, at this point in time, I don't really know jack shit about citizens arrest. And at this point in time in Ohio, I don't even think we had a concealed carry law. So I knew that if I pulled my pistol, it it was gonna be problematic for me because number one, these niggas was they may have been 16 through 18. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be hard for me to justify me doing what I'm gonna do at a gas station with a whole bunch of people around, and these are minors. You know what I mean? But anybody who know niggas, it's irrelevant if they minors or not. These little niggas is killing folks at 14, 15, 16 years old like it ain't shit. And it is raining in my ride, nigga. All right, I'm gonna be back in a minute as soon as it stop raining, y'all. Alright, it done simmered down a little bit. So, yeah, I'm at the gas station. The nigga that's driving, he's inside paying for the gas. One of his other little homies he rolling with, he's at the car pumping the gas. And, I'm hot, you know what I'm saying? So I get a good look at the motherfucker when he come out. I jump back on the phone real quick, dial 911 again. And I'm like, hey, you know, this is such and such. I just called, and I have the individuals who have the gun, who was waving the gun at my son right here at such and such gas station. And they're like, well, do you see the weapon? Do they have the... I'm like, no, I don't see the weapon. But they're like, well, don't follow him. And don't provoke them and don't agitate them. Leave them alone. Like, are y'all gonna send somebody out? They was like, yes, we'll send somebody out. The bitch was just stone cold lied to me, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't want me to follow him anymore. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, if you're gonna send someone, where are you gonna send them to? Because you're telling me not to follow them. So how are you gonna find them if I don't follow them? You know what I mean? It was some bullshit, man. So, I was just very, very tempted to pull my shit out, man, and put that shit to that nigga's brains. Put it right next to his temple, man, and tell that bitch ass nigga to get the fuck out the car. You know what I mean? And shake his ass down and see if I can find that weapon. My emotions almost took over. I almost fucked up, man. So what I had to do is I had to let him go. That's what I had to do. Because it was obvious the police wasn't coming out. The bitch was not going to send the police because there was nothing, because there was no crime being committed at that particular time, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, that was a situation where it could have went left and I could have been left holding the bag on it. I could have been guilty of doing something very bad in the eyes of the public. Here I am, grown-ass man with a pistol, riding down on some, all intents and purposes, children, even though I'm working in a spot, it's fucking raining. Hold on. But hopefully, this won't be too much of a distraction. All I can pray. We just got to deal with it. Let's see here. But what was I at? Oh, yeah. I work in a prison where, yeah, man, I have to supervise 18, 19, 10-year-old scumbag young niggas, man, for murder all the time. You know what I mean? So I don't have no illusions about how dangerous these little some bitches can be, you know what I mean? But if you ain't in the know, if you ain't in the profession, most of y'all wouldn't know it, you know what I mean? But I know it. This is one of the cocksuckers that I have to police on a daily basis up in the joint, man. And it would do me just, man, I'm trying to tell you, I wouldn't break a fucking bust a tear if I put a bullet in this little motherfucker right now, man. You know what I mean? Shit. But I didn't see him wave the weapon at my son. I didn't see him do shit. All I heard was hearsay. For all I know, they ditched the gun. I don't know, man. But, yeah. It almost went down, man. If I had not chickened out, I guess you could call it chickened out, or cooler heads had to prevail, because, like I said, they had one of my son's ex-broads with him. You know what I mean? Because I think, Lil Mike was like 16, 15, 16. I think this nigga was like 17 or 18 or some shit, man. And, he had sour grapes because, Lil Mike's bitch was really still on his dick. You know what I mean? At least that's what it was explained to me. And so he was salty. He was jealous. He had to make sure that Lil Mike knew that this was actually his bitch now, whatever. And, nigga, I was hot, man. Nothing would have made me happier than to put a slug in that bitch, man. And not only for the fact that, like I said, I've seen niggas casing joints in the neighborhood all the time, trespassing, doing fuck shit they ain't supposed to do. And, like I said, when you see that shit happening and you chase them off, then 2 or 3 days later, you done been robbed blind. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, shit like that is problematic. Shit like that get on your nerves, man. You know what I mean? So, what's the difference between them rednecks and me? Really not no big difference. The big difference was I'm black, they're white, and the situation and the circumstances was a little different. They didn't necessarily see no crime being committed. I didn't see no crime being committed. The one that was alleged to have happened with me was much more serious. There was a gun involved. Theirs was just trespassing. And of course, the main thing that was different was they actually confronted Ahmad. They actually rolled up on him with their weapons cocked. And they let it be known that they don't appreciate the shit he was doing in their neighborhood. Even though no real crime had been committed. But do I feel, the operative word here is feel. Do I feel like they were justified in doing what they was doing? I'm all for anyone policing their neighborhood, man. I'm all for this shit. This is just a perfect storm of fuck shit right here, man. It's just an act of God, man. You had 2 overzealous white men who rode down on a brother because the brother looked like he was up to no good. The white boys was overzealous by bringing weapons. Ahmad was overzealous by wrestling for the shotgun. You got 2 irrational parties here. Because I done told y'all, if anybody rides down on me and they suspect me of trespassing or walking across someone's lawn and they're waving a shotgun at me, I'm going to be cool. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I understand what y'all say. Well, he shouldn't have to do this. Look, nigga, we just talking about life and death situations, life and death tactics. Now, if anyone rides down on you with a shotgun because you walking across someone's lawn or you walking across someone's domicile or dwelling or whatever, fine, nigga, you be Superman and you wrestle for the shotgun. Do you, nigga. Do you. Have fun with that. Have fun with it, nigga. I'm telling you what Big Mike gonna do. Big Mike gonna turn around with his hands up and I'm gonna ask you, how can I help you? Hey, don't make you no punk to be cool when someone got a shotgun in your face. And that is allegedly if the shotgun was in his face. Because remember, you can't see that. All you see is them come from behind the vehicle struggling for the shotgun. You don't know if it was pointed at Ahmad or not. That's the only reason I could think of why I would freak out and spaz out. If someone's pointing a Mossberg or a Remington shotgun at me and I actually really think he's going to pull that trigger, then yeah, I'm going to go for it. What did he really feel his life was in danger? You know what I mean? But if you get out your truck and you don't have your shotgun at the ready to pump that slug or that buckshot at me, I'm not going to agitate you. I'm going to ask you what the problem is, man. And we going to get down to the bottom of this shit. We going to talk real civilized. Like, that's what we going to do. Now, once again, for you super niggas that have never seen what a shotgun can do to you, and you want to fight and you want to wrestle with a motherfucker for the shotgun needlessly, have at it, nigga. Do you. Big Mike has seen combat. Big Mike has spent 10 years in a fucking prison, seeing all sorts of shit go down, as gruesome as they come. They was freaking out about trespassing. I was freaking out about the safety of my son because some bitch ass nigga wanted to wave a gun in his face. And just like the white boys, I followed these niggas. I tried to get the law involved. The law basically gave me the finger and said that there was no crime being committed at the time when I was reporting it. So for all intents and purposes, they wasn't going to do shit. And I was hot about that. And yes, I wanted to kill that little nigga, man. I was hoping and praying I could see a weapon on this motherfucker. But never saw one. So cooler heads prevailed. Cooler heads prevailed, man. I did not get a chance to see a weapon. I did not get a chance to cock my shit and send this nigga home. That's right. Now niggas is asking me, well, Big Mike, do you think that was racist? Don't know and don't care, really. Me working in one of the worst corrections facilities in Southern Ohio, Lebanon Correctional. Most of the crew know my story about that, man. You know, because I've always had issues and problems, even with myself. If you're in a profession, man, where all you see is stupid shit being performed by certain people, certain individuals, that shit rubs off on you, man. No matter how hard you try to not have it affect you, it affects you, man. So, I don't know where the McMichaels, the older McMichael, I don't know where he did his job at. Was it where the white folks live or the black folks live? I don't know. But if he did a lot of policing around black neighborhoods, he's going to come out of this with a very bad image of black folks. It is what it is. That's what's going to happen. A lot of y'all should say, well, he should have the common sense to not know all black folks are like that. Well, you know, in a perfect world, that's what we like to think. But if he's working in a capacity where he's steadily investigating niggas doing nigga shit for 20, 25, 30 years, however long he was doing that shit gonna stick with you, man. There ain't no rubbing that off. You know how I know that shit? Because Big Mike was as pro-black as they come before he started working in that prison. Yeah, I was one of them niggas. White man this, white man that, cracker this, cracker that. Yeah, man, I was on that shit, boy. I mean, you couldn't tell me. I mean, I was so goddamn militant. It was ridiculous, man. It was disgustingly nauseating to just hear me talking about pro-black shit, man. Like these niggas I hear on YouTube right now talking to pro-black shit, it's laughable to me because a lot of people think that these niggas on YouTube is nauseating. That ain't nothing. I mean, like I told my boy Tony, man, when I started working at that prison, I used to write these articles, man. I used to call the Black Prophet series. And I would drop off all my writings in the African bookstores in the city, right? And when I go work at Lebanon, man, do you know that damn near all, in every block I went into, man, if I did cell shakedowns, it was my writings. These niggas had my writings in the cells. Niggas had my shit, like, taped up on the walls because I would illustrate the black Jesus with the black afro. Anybody familiar with Imam Isa or Dr. York, I would always use his artist renditions of the black prophets and shit, man. And I would put that on the back of my writings or the front of my writings as a book cover. And man, these brothers was eating it up, man. It was crazy. So at the same time, these niggas is calling me a coon and a Tom because I'm wearing this badge. Here they are reading the Black Prophet series, man, that I was writing like every month. Like every block had some of my shit in it, man. It was just the most hilarious shit ever. And these white boys who thought I was a good little Negro, you know, they had no idea either.